Holy schnapps, this is the most historical map we've ever had in the 1500s. You know, with historically Great Britain owning France and Gibraltar and Augsburg owning the entirety of South Germany. Totally historical, and if you guys are wondering how we got to this point, you'll find a link to the first parts in the description. Today we're going to be focusing mainly on the mid-game, and I'm going to show you guys how you can make massive amounts of money from trade and from developing your economy properly. I'm also going to be showing you guys why colonial for Western European nations is probably the meta right now, especially for Great Britain, since it allows us to get a massive amount of manpower alongside a massive economy. Also, I want to point out that I've got about 52% crownlands, and I didn't really seize crownlands that much. I mainly got this from the Anglican Church. Basically, every single time I could, I would lower the crownlands owned by the clergy, and that would in turn go to the crownlands. Until we can seize crownlands, we have a few wars going on. Nothing major, just helping out a friend over here in Venice to enrich their borders, and we're also finishing getting the lowlands. I did release Friesland, and really the only reason I did release Friesland is I promised a Dutch friend, oh sorry, I mean Frisian friend, that I would. Totally didn't mean to imply that Frisians and Dutch people are the same. I promise, that's not what I meant with this. My plans of making Utrecht a vassal failed big time, so I'm just gonna manually kill them and take all of their stuff here. I also have a few vassals around, and I'm gonna be diplo-vassalizing Franconia. 8228, they really want to become my little Schnippeldorp, because Franconia has a lot of cores in, you guessed it, the Franconian lands. And also, we're doing a continuous expansion in the New World. I will start integrating Portugal. So once I integrate the Portuguese and I get their colonial nations, I'll have an extra 6 merchants. Right now we have only 5, mostly from our colonial nations like Cuba Libre and the United Tobacco Plantation, both historically accurate nations that totally did exist. In fact, it is in the United Tobacco Plantation that Halloween first started as a tradition to warden off all of those Floridians. As you can see, the historical location of Florida here. Every October, United Tobacco Plantation citizens would dress up as pumpkins, and that would scare away the Floridians, and you know, we would eventually annex these lands as consequence. Totally makes sense if you think about it. Just don't think about it too hard. Speaking of Halloween, today's sponsor, Hero Wars, has a special event going on for this Halloween. A portal appeared in Hero Wars that requires 10,000 installs to open by the 31st of October. What awaits inside the portal? 106 Amazon digital gift cards, but only if you use my link in the description to take part in the sweepstakes. All you have to do is download the game, complete a short in-app tutorial, and sign up for a free game account to get an in-game ID to use in the sweepstakes. No purchase is necessary to enter or win, and the winner will be published on the website. I've played Hero Wars on my phone, and I love the ability to customize your heroes with various items, level up their skills, and the best part is the mini quiz games that really test your wits. If you enjoy puzzles and having a great progression for your hero, then you really will love immersing yourself in Hero Wars. Let's open the portal to Dominion together by using my link in the description. Download Hero Wars before 31st of October and get a chance at winning amazing prizes. Don't miss out, and I'll see you in Hero Wars. Also want to point out that if you want to get 100% absolutism, you're gonna need to cancel a few privileges before the 1600, which is when we're gonna get absolutism. Personally, I don't care about it, because the only reason you want absolutism is if you plan on doing a world conquest. This run in particular is not going to be a world conquest. It's just going to be a run in which I'm going to get ridiculously rich, and in which I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get ridiculously rich. So keep that in mind, because I know a lot of people cancel their privileges without actually having the intention of doing a world conquest, and in the process simply losing out on a lot of amazing bonuses that privileges offer. And hold up a second, since when do I have Baden as a vassal? I completely forgot I diplo-vassalized Baden. Okay, well, you know what? In that case, the plan's gonna be, we're gonna feed Franconia North Germany and Baden South Germany, and we're gonna keep them as our little vassals. vassals in the central part of Europe. Let's call it a buffer state, shall we? The Great Battaglia über unsere Utrechttion. This is, in case you didn't know, how the English people used to speak around this age. 100% historically accurate dialect of English. I'm sorry, what? My Maryland army got stack wiped? Oh, you schmelly Danes. I forgot you were in this war. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make everybody around here my religion. Force religion first on Oldenburg. Cancel some of their alliances. There you go. And that means we got one more nation to add to the great Anglican faith here. You know, the faith that was made by one person because he didn't agree with the Pope. That's the entirety of Anglicanism right there. He wanted to divorce more women than it was allowed, okay? Can a man just have a dream? Come on, boys, come on. Hey, finally we can also become an empire now. So we gained a cultural union over all of these cultures over here, namely American, Scottish, Cornish, and Welsh. But we all know that Cornish and Welsh never existed, really. It's an invention, a fiction, because maybe or maybe not somebody did something to it. We'll never know. We'll never find out. That's the reality here. Oh, we can do the British Empire. Even more mana points. Oh god, I'm over my limit with admin points. No! Okay, I'm gonna have to use admin points to develop. Gonna be a little bit of a waste here, but it has to be done. And with the click of a button, I'm gonna be able to get East America. Namely, I'm getting all of the colonies that the Danes have over here, and I'm giving them over to my colony, making my colony bigger, so that later on they can revolt against me because I'm asking for too high taxes, alright? I'm just foreseeing the future here. Except in this reality, we're gonna, you know, we're not gonna let them become an independent nation. Not on my watch, boys. Oh, we can do until the end of the game the 13 colonies, liberty, desire, and subjects minus 10%. That does help considering we're gonna keep on getting more and more subjects as we grow. You're lucky I'm in a good mood, Utrecht. I'm only taking 3 provinces, don't care about the rest of your country, so you might as well just expand in the entirety of Germany for all I give a snap. I also need more light ships so I can filter in more trade in my main trade node of the English Channel. So I'm going to be building 50 more light ships. Don't be scared. Even if you go over your naval force limit with light ships, they pay for themselves in the amount of extra trade power that you get when you assign them to specific trade nodes. I personally like to have about 50 light ships in every adjacent node that filters into the English Channel node. Well, at least in the 1570s I do. I increase that as my country grows in size. Can we get a clap in the chat for our new Vasalski Franconia? And let's go. Reconquest of Ansbach. Poland the Austrians. I mean, co-belligerate the Austrians. I could call in Commonwealth. I don't need to, but I will do it. And Venice, so they can fight against the two Sicilies and help out against the Austrians, I guess, on the other front. Should be an easy war. I've got way better troops than them. I have actually Tech 16 already. So I have the Mauritian infantry, which is way better than whatever Austria has, since they're still at military tech 13 by comparison, 3 techs behind us. I don't think anyone's up to military. Oh, sorry, I'm at 15, not 16. Is anybody else at 15? No, I think I am the first one to reach military tech 15, which, you know, means I'm the strongest nation in the world right now, boys. And my promise was fulfilled. I released Friesland and I integrated them a second time. Now we're even, all right? You know who you are. You know these people, man, they keep asking 1,000 times the same thing in the comment section, and sometimes I have to cave. I have to. Now, that doesn't mean that you're supposed to start asking in the comment section, Ludi, make this video or do this 1,000 times, all right? Please. So we have admin tech 15 also, which means now we can build these soldiers households. Soldiers households, whenever you're building them in grain, livestock, fish, or wine provinces, you're gonna get double the amount of manpower. So check this out. We're getting 3,000 just from building this in livestock provinces and so on. That is a huge amount of manpower, boys, and it scales up so much more the more you develop those provinces. I haven't really developed much military development. I mostly focused on Diplo, so I got a good economy going. But once I start developing military, it's gonna scale up so much. You know, guys, I was actually playing a lot of Skyrim yesterday, and it really reminded me of when the game first came out. You know that feeling of when you have playing the game for the first time and the game has an amazing story and the ability to just free roam anywhere you want on the map. I kind of miss that with modern games. Aside from strategy games, which, you know, I pretty much play a lot of, the RPG games that I play, I feel like the newer ones that are coming out out are not as great and as satisfying as the older ones. Curious what you guys think about that. And you know what? If you guys want me to do a Skyrim video, let me know also, since I would love to do a Skyrim video, show you guys my current save and the shenanigans I've been doing in that particular save. I don't think anyone would agree with half of what I'm doing there, and the ones that would agree, well, I don't know what's wrong with you, okay? But we're definitely on the same wavelength. Interesting to see that the enemy alliance is primarily focusing on the Commonwealth. I would have expected them to focus on the weaker ones, which in my case would be, oh, actually, Commonwealth is the only ally I have. Hold up a second, I'm sure I had some more allies here. Oh no, I have Venice too. Why are they not focusing on Venice? It seems like Venice is pretty siege-free over here. Let's see what it looks like in the east part as well. Muscovy still has not formed Russia. I think they need a few cities, including, if I'm not wrong, Ryazan, which they don't have. The Commonwealth just simply said, yeah, sure, take everything here except Ryazan so we can massively cuck you boys. And then Kazan is still around, which is surprising too. Timurids seem to be massive on the map. You know what? I'm curious what's happening here. I might actually just steal some maps from this area. Let's do that now. I'm gonna steal maps from the Timurids themselves. And did you guys know that Trent was and always will be an Anglican nation? Were you aware of that? That sounded like the start of DJ Mix. Did you know about Trent? I'll stop. That's cringe enough for a lifetime. Austria, you're in massive luck. I only want this from, oh no, you're not in luck. I also want humiliation because I want to get 100 PP. I've spoken too soon. It's time to carpet siege the Austrons. I do feel like by destroying Austria right now, it might pave the way for the Ottomans to keep on coming into Europe, which is something I'm not super comfortable with. So I might just release a vassal and feed them all of the Balkans also whilst I'm at it, right? Might as well. God schnappledoop Ludi, you said this is not gonna be a world conquest. What's going on here? It's not. I'm just taking a few provinces from Europe. That's it. Okay, that's it. I'm also using my money to build the stuff in my vassals' lands and subjects because I have nothing left to build in my own lands. Oh, weird flex, bro, but okay. See, me flexing about something like that, that's pretty much the reason why we don't really have many friends, isn't it? You know, us strategy gamers. I believe Austria has been thoroughly humiliated now, so they can give us everything we need, including the 3 provinces here, boys. One of the main reasons I gunned for these provinces, aside from the obvious fact that, you know, it's in the English Channel node, it's also because of this monument here, the Dutch polders. I cannot understate how important this monument is. 10% goods produced modifier is a massive boost to anyone's economy, and we're gonna try and upgrade this. The sooner the better. It does mean that we have to accept Dutch as one of our accepted cultures, so we're gonna cancel the acceptance of the Irish culture and switch that over to Dutch because, well, I may or may not have been converting the Irish to my culture in the meanwhile. Oh, that is not bad, boys. Tangiers gives 0.48 ducats after I build a workshop there, so I kind of should start integrating Portugal, shouldn't I? And let's go with the main reason why we attacked Augsburg in the first place. Look at my beloved Franconia, boys. This also is kind of historical when you think about it, since the British did have a massive chunk of Germany, albeit it was Hanover in our timeline. This time it's Franconia. Same, but different. And it's also time to attack the Danes once more, so we can take Vinland from them. They've actually grown Vinland quite a bit, so I'm happy to see that, because it's definitely exactly what I needed for my Canadian colony here. It's funny how I only have one colonist, but despite that, I have the biggest colonial empire by simply taking everybody else's stuff. I truly am doing a historical game now that I really think about it. Britannia rules the waves. You have stuff we take and put in the museum. There's so many amazing government reforms for tier 8 because we can do expand administration cost minus 100%, meaning we can get a lot more governing capacity as it is from 2 treaties of government, but then we can also get liberty, desire, and subjects reduction, and we can also get heretic and heathen provinces do not give any more penalties. So that could probably be the best one out of all of them, since we do have some of those heretic and heathen provinces. But eventually we will convert everybody to Anglicanism, and that is why I'm going to be going for the expand administration cost plus reduce the parliament bribes by 50%. And you guys know I'm Romanian, so I'm definitely pro parliament bribes. The Balkan way. I'm just kidding. It's disgusting. That's why I left the Balkans. Hey, look at this, guys. We found found some new land over here. I guess we can call this Newfoundland. Hey, I'm gonna be a great dad. You might have noticed also that I've taken 3 provinces. I've done that because these particular provinces here, namely Hamburg and Lübeck, have a huge amount of trade power in the Lübeck node, and the more trade power they have, the more trade power I get, and as consequence, the more that we trickle down into our main node of the English channel, which translates into a huge amount of money, and looks like this might be proof of me culturally converting some areas. Let's just pretend you didn't see nothing. Can we just edit that bit out over there, please? Oh, dude, I knew the Ottomans are gonna do this. Not cool, Ottomans. I hope they don't take too much land now. Oh, was? Newfoundland? More like there was nobody here when we came, I promise. That's a lot more accurate right there. Alright, now I can say that I have military tech 16, which is a big step because at military tech 16, you should have a full back row of artillery. Albeit with the newest meta, honestly, you should have a full back row as soon as you can afford it. But at tech 16 is when it's actually most efficient, since you get 1 extra artillery fire and artillery shock 0.10, and you even get better artillery units, the chambered demi cannons. Plus, we get the training fields, so that means we're gonna be boosting up the amount of manpower we get by a huge amount. Take note, Grand Monopoly from the Anglican religion gives you 1 mercantilism and 1,200 ducats. Well, the amount of ducats depends on your income, but the point is that whenever you reach 100 church power, you can increase your mercantilism by 1. So definitely, Anglicanism is the best religion for the English, or for anyone who's trying to play tall. We managed to unlock our new policies, trade efficiency and production efficiency plus 10, as well as 1 extra merchant and trade power abroad, because we went for trade ideas as our 4th idea set. So now we have 8 available merchants, plus we're gonna get a lot more soon because I'm gonna be attacking Congo to make a trade company out of this region here. Let me actually do that right now. What is all of this? They still have other countries around? What? Oh, wow. Okay, they did not unify the Congo region. Well, I'm gonna be punishing you for not doing that. Hey, we got global trade as expected. It spawned in London for sure because we have the strongest node in the world. It does give us a little bit of each admin points, governor reform progress as well, and until the end of the game, local trade power in Bruges. Oh, okay, it spawned in Bruges, not in London. Fair enough. Let's see. We have 141 in the English channel right now, and it is gonna be getting a lot more since we started a few extra expansion routes. Plus, we're basically doing a few trade companies in the African parts to increase our trade power in the Ivory Coast. I've added all of the provinces that I took from Congo, and I only took the provinces in the Ivory Coast node, which is the only one I'm interested in for now. I'll continue to do the same thing around the world, make trade companies in Asia, make trade companies in other parts of Africa and the Arabian lands, and only directly own provinces in Western Europe, essentially. We've also unlocked universities, so we're going to be building universities in all of our provinces in Europe again, starting with the British Isles and then afterwards, of course, the French lands too. Universities give you minus 20% dev cost reduction, as well as they do not cost a building slot since they increase the possible number of buildings plus 1, similar how the courthouses work with the recent update. So courthouses, their upgraded version town hall, and universities you want to have built in every single province that you own. Same goes for workshop and counting house. You want to build these bad boys in every province you have and upgrade this to a counting house eventually. Marketplaces and their upgrades, you only want to build them in provinces where they offer a lot of extra trade power. No need to build them everywhere. So that's usually provinces that have a center of trade or some sort of trade power modifier by default. Barracks and training fields, again, in every province. Manufactories you want to build in every province with the exception of provinces that have grain, fish, livestock, or wine, because there you want to build a soldier's household, and that pretty much explains everything you need to know about building in essence. Shipyard, if you need extra naval force limit, you can build, but in single player, I personally don't think it's necessary. Same goes for regimental camp. You can build it if you want, but in single player, definitely not necessary. Upgrade your forts, of course, always whenever you can. Coastal defenses are great if you're a naval power and you don't want to get raided by pirates. Other than that, not really necessary either. A single player. And then when it comes to our trade company buildings, make sure you invest a little bit in trade companies too. Trade steering is probably my favorite building to upgrade here, since you will be using, especially in the Ivory Coast, we will be using our trade steering, since we're steering all of this trade away from this node into the English Channel node. Meanwhile, the Castilians are trying to get some of this trade in the Sevilla node. They are actually getting through some, so we're gonna have to fight them and make sure that we block their influence on the Ivory Coast. Yeah, that's actually mostly Portugal, which I started integrating, so it's not gonna be an issue anymore after I finish the integration. There's other buildings for your trade companies, like the township that offers yearly army tradition for the entire country, naval force limit from the Admiralty, and land force limit from the officers' mess. And we also have the Governor General's mansion that offers a decrease in local autonomy and some flat manpower and sailors. All of these are great, but like I said, since you have to choose one, I would personally choose the trade steering to steer more in your main trade node. And of course, the other buildings that you can build, and they're not locked to one building per state, well, in that case, just build all of them. Hey, look at that. The Commonwealth just declared on Austria. Let's honor our alliance and kick some Austrian butts. Oh, hello there. Spain actually attacked my subject of Portugal. Spain. You made a massive mistake. That definitely is a lot of juicy colonial nations that the Spanish have right there. This really feels like a world war. I mean, we have half of North and South America fighting the other half of North and South America. We got skirmishes all around the world, Africa, Europe. I'm really enjoying this, man. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I am. And yes, I did make a white peace with the Austrians so I can focus on this war. Oh boys, check this mission out. Renovate Oxford Bridge gives us 4.5 innovativeness, as well as we get the Oxford Symphony happen in one day, which offers 0.5 legitimacy. So overall, if you want to get to 100 innovativeness, this event really helps out so much. Now we definitely have 100 innovativeness, which means we get all power cost minus 10% and army tradition decay as well as navy tradition decay minus 1%. So now not only is it cheaper to develop everything and cheaper to just take up and get ideas and all that schnapps, but we did it without having to take innovativeness ideas. Just so you guys know, I do get some pretty nasty RNG. I got a 014 air. Oh no! He just fell out the window. Oh, this is horrible. He would have been the future king. So anyway, we're now carpet sieging Spain to get the war score that we need. Well, what do you know? We got pirates in the Caribbeans, and we get two choice. We can either play as the pirates, or we can just let them be, and we're gonna be killing them off, basically, because they have the city of Tortuga, which is a core of our subject, and it also has the monument that does give some significant bonuses. This actually got downgraded, or was it level 1? I don't remember, to be fair. Let's get our diplomat back so we can attack him in that case. I would love to keep these guys around for RP purposes, but realistically speaking, because I own the Caribbean, like my subjects own all of the Caribbean right now, it's only hurting my economy from letting them survive here. I actually really like the map color that they have. That's like one of the most unique shade of gray I've ever seen. Trier seriously committed the weirdest border gore imaginable. They even took land from my beloved Brandenburg, which I'm obviously not cool with, but I'm not giving stuff back to Brandenburg in this war. I want to take stuff for myself because I want to get a bigger chunk of the Rhineland node to basically transfer even more of this stuff into my node afterwards via the Champagne node. I have an issue here because 25 ducats are filtering into Genoa. We want to prevent that from happening, so we're gonna have to declare war on the Savoyans and take this chunk of the Champagne node for ourselves. This seems pretty fair over here. Let's go with this deal. You might think that this is border gore, but this is actually exactly what the British Empire looked like in 1625. We also went over our overextension, so we're gonna give some of these provinces over to Franconia. I'm gonna give the south tip to Franconia, Heidelberg, and Stuttgart because it is low trade power compared to Frankfurt and Mainz, both of which give a ton of trade power that I want to keep. And hey, on the bright side, we now have a continuous connection to our vassals' lands. I'm also filthy rich, so I'm just gonna spend spend a lot of money to fully upgrade the monuments. There you go. We got Notre Dame and Versailles both at level 3, and I'm pretty sure all the other monuments too. How many more monuments do I need to get the achievement? That would be 8 monuments, and we only have 4 right now. Really? Let me check my monument map mode. I think I need to get some more monuments in that case. All right, so we have these 2. What about this one? Oh, I didn't finish this one. I was always under the impression this one's done already. Oh my god, I've been missing out on so much goods produced modifier. Okay, now we have 5, so we're gonna get another one once we integrate Portugal, because this should be on its way to level 5 as well. Oh, sorry, level 3 as well. There you go. It is level 3 now. And where else can we get a couple more? Maybe we can get the one from Nope. Yeah, I think we should declare a war on Nope. It's also pretty awesome to see that we have basically 100% of our crownlands, which means that we're getting... Actually, no, it's not 100%. We need 2 more to get 100%. So let's dev up a little bit more. There you go. Let's get this a couple more times up. 100% crownlands, which means that we are getting minus 0.05 autonomy per month, absolutism +1 yearly, as well as max absolutism +15, and reform progress growth +100, guys. Because of that, we have no issues with our governing capacity, since we can just use all the reform progress to increase this, and it's not as expensive as it used to be. Obviously, we also want to keep it around to do a few changes from reforms, as well as get the last tier reform, where we can choose to either get admin efficiency and absolutism, free policies +1, or monarch skill, and so on. I'm probably going to go for the free policies, since I'm not doing a world conquest, and I am using 2 policies for each category, which means I am wasting 1 mana for Diplo and for admin right now to maintain these 2 policies. So even though we have level 5 advisors, and look how cheap they are, by the way, at level 5, and we're getting a ton of mana points from that, we still are losing this -1 for each of these categories. I'm not really super happy about that, obviously. The cheapo in me really wants to min-max the amount of money that I'm getting. Speaking of, we're getting 209 ducats, which translates into 369 profit for us in the English channel alone. So there you go, 375 with a little bit collected from Genoa. That's just a meme. I just send this for no reason here. I'm gonna put them back, and I'm gonna send them after I take over the Italian peninsula in the next part of this campaign, whenever we reach 10,000 likes, where we're gonna do the 1600s to 1700s and final part of the English saga, and where I'm also going to be explaining a little bit how the revolutions work and how you should mold yourself around the late game RNG. So don't forget to use the link in the description to download Hero Wars and join the sweepstake, as well as check out this awesome Florence video. Until the next time. And I want to give a massive thank you to all of my patrons, channel members, and Twitch subscribers. I would not be able to do this without all your support.